Hello and welcome back to another video from thefanpub.com. It's Alan Shawn back again.
Good to be back. What are we doing today?
We're talking about value players from each other teams in the AFC West. We're talking about sleepers from them teams. We're talking about deep sleepers, so people who go 150 ADP wise and below. That's their average draft position.
This is a good division. Lots of talent in this division.
It is. There's a few we struggle with because we're doing this for every team. So the Chiefs is the first one up, and the best value we could find was Tyreek Hill at 57, and we weren't overly enamoured with that. We're not saying go mad.
No,
but that's the best we could find. We didn't
I suppose we have to look at the positives. As much as we may think, not sure, we can definitely say this. He's their wide receiver one. He's going to get targeted a lot. He's got potential to be used not only in the passing game, the running game, the return game.
He's a dynamic player, isn't he?
He's an all-round threat as a player. And as much as I think, I don't know, I'd like to offer more to the viewers listening in, the fact of the matter is he still has some value there. So we're right to put him on the list because it is a difficult team to evaluate to give you some value. So the only trouble is it's getting on the borderline of having zero value. So it's just okay.
Okay, our sleeper, we've gone for Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, tell me why you like him first, and I'll add some bits on.
He's going to ADP 113, so low enough you could take him later, and he is somebody that could come in and take the job late on in the season, give you a good playoff push, or even earlier, or at least get a share earlier. I don't think Spencer Ware exactly. He had an okay season, but tailed off towards the end. I think
the thing is with him. What I like about Kareem Hunt is the value, as you say. At that value level, I'm perfectly fine taking a shot at him. I've got to be honest. This is one of those really rare situations. I think I've mentioned this in another video another time, but I'm sure we'll put a highlight on there somewhere. Where I like to get Spencer Ware and Kareem Hunt actually together. And the reason I think that is because they're a running first team. That's what Kansas have built their tradition on,
rather than
the passing game, which is Alex Smith does what he does best, which is manage the game. He is a proper game managed quarterback. He's very good at the short and intermediate routes, not so much on the long ball, but he can do it. But what I like about these two combined is if Spencer Ware fades or injured or fades, next man up is this guy. And I think his value is through the roof. But if you own both, it's like owning a number one through the season. So I kind of see some value with them locked together. Quite a lot of value, actually.
I mean, he's RB41 off the board, so you're not paying a high price.
Not at all.
The next people coming off the board in the running back range is CJ ProSize. Okay, he's a great player.
Banged up and injured, though, is the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's had health problems, but you think Hunt will get a bigger share of the...
I think so, and it will depend how it shakes out to determine who wins the job. And it could be a running back by committee, so there is standalone value if that ends up being the case. So I like that pick. That's a good one, Al.
Okay, our deep sleeper, we've actually gone for Chris Conley. He's going to be he's a young lad, but he's going to be a starting, opposite Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
He's got size, so he's a red zone threat. I think he's 6'3".
Yep.
So there is, and he's going at so low at 224. He's literally free.
That's a free player. I mean, and a player that could start.
And you never know. Oh yeah, he's getting an opportunity.
I mean, that's all you need. And in fantasy, sometimes you have to weigh up: is the rookie you're choosing, has he got any? Is there a glass ceiling? And if there isn't, then you could do far worse than pick a player like this.
Well, the Chiefs were happy to let Macklin go.
Yeah.
So that means they must have faith in Conley.
I think so. I think that's a good pick here, and I think that offers a tremendous bit of value for anybody listening in. That's certainly a player you can keep on your radar for when you're picking down there. And it's certainly not. It's not a bad
in a deep league. Take a shot on him. Wide receiver 77. So you're talking.
There's nothing to lose, is there? That's
you're going in the Cooper Cup range.
There's lots of potential outcomes for him that could be very good compared to what. I mean, look, as you say, you're picking him up for nothing. So if the outcome isn't anything, you haven't lost anything there, have you? So that's a great pick.
Okay, moving on to the Broncos.
Much more interesting team to evaluate. Difficult.
Yeah, value, we were looking at it. I mean, Demaryius Thomas is going high enough.
Yeah.
We talked about CJ Anderson, but couldn't do it. So I
nearly got Al to put him back on the list.
We settled on Emmanuel Sanders for value at 54 ADP.
It's, again, barely value, but at that range in the draft, which is it could
wide
be
receiver 24.
Well, the TFP cat likes him.
Yeah.
But it could be in certain league sizes. It could be that could be round 5. In the large leagues, it's round 4, and that's okay because I think he delivers you 140 fantasy points relatively regularly or more. There's more chance he delivers at least the same value as Demaryius Thomas and going a couple of rounds lower. So he's
a great player. I mean,
yeah. solid. He's coming towards the very twilight of his career. He's 31 this year. You know it's near the end, but his abilities haven't diminished. His ability to get open still hasn't changed from last year. Everything I saw about him was a guy with good work ethic, everything's right. They just need the quarterback. And I think they're going to have one this year that can get the ball out there, which is Paxton Lynch. I think that's how it will shake out, as I've said previously. But we'll see. I certainly think he's got good value there.
Okay, well, our sleeper, he's currently banged up. He's out. He's out 6 to 8 weeks, but that's going to make him even more valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, we're talking his
current ADP
is 202.
So
that's
really,
Devontae Booker.
Realistically, that's going to drop back quite a distance. So you would expect that to drop to about 240 probably when it's all said and done.
So pretty much free in any
So
league.
free shot to nothing. What I like about that pick is again, it's not like you're not asking you to take this guy early. This is a late round flyer running back. If you're doing a 0 RB kind of draft or something along those lines, or even a best ball one, this guy could have value if CJ Anderson pans out to not do anything.
We might have, they did improve the line in the draft. First pick was a offensive lineman.
Yep. You know about those with Cowboys. They've got a few offensive linemen, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got a few offensive players. I know that. You've got CJ Anderson, who didn't play a full season last year. He got banged up. You've got Jamal Charles. How much has he got left in the tank, really? It's not hard to see him, getting a role, at least a share of a role.
And if CJ Anderson underperforms...
underperforms or gets injured.
There's always a chance this guy breaks through.
Yeah, they were starting to share last year.
I mean, the negatives, I guess, are that he's going to miss...
He's currently injured.
He's injured. He's going to miss all the training camp. He's going to be probably not available for the first game of the year, probably, or close to not being available. He might just be available, but it's on that fringe line. So there's all the risk, but at that point of the draft, it's a shot to nothing. You're not losing anything. It's not like you're being expected to give something up. It's a free shot. I
mean, and the last player we're going for a deep sleeper, so he's even deeper than 202, is Paxton Lynch at 284.
I love it. I mean, I really do. I mean,
you've always been a fan of his, haven't you?
Yeah, it's the mechanics. I mean, I've said it before on this show. I mean, it's proving out. I mean, you hear the whispers in the training camp. I mean, look who's getting all the plaudits. It's Paxton Lynch, and it's the way John Elway's mind has been working as well. I mean, they've got a player I think will have a chance in the NFL to become a proper franchise quarterback. I mean, it's a big statement when you talk about that, but the mechanics are all there. They've still got a great defence. If they protect him, which is an issue, let's be honest, they haven't got the greatest of lines. They're improving it, but there are some question marks. But let's say he wins out the camp battle job. I mean, come on, if he's your QB 2 or 3, just as in a very deep league or something, that's a free quarterback.
Yeah,
really.
Or in Dynasty.
I mean, and even if you parcel him up, say you've got a really great quarterback, say you've got Aaron Rodgers and he's your second as a late round flyer just because you thought you'd take a gamble on a quarterback that hasn't broken out yet, but he does, then you can pass him up with another player for a team that's struggling at quarterback. I won't say that too loud because I might be.
I mean, you think about Trevor Siemian got picked up in most leagues last year.
Yeah.
After he came in. He's got two great, wide receivers, hasn't he?
And he's the right kind of quarterback for them. They need a guy who can get the ball out to the deep and intermediate shots. I think he's perfect for that. So, great pick there. Really cheap value. Again, nothing.
And of course, he's a deep sleeper.
Which is we love those.
Okay, well, moving on to the LA Chargers.
Stacked full of players.
Yeah, I mean,
they're offensive pieces here.
It's a tough league, this, though, isn't it?
Yeah, big tough.
Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, all
really
good,
difficult,
all good teams.
Really, really interesting league.
The Chargers, we've gone for our old favourite Terrell Williams.
Yeah,
he's the value.
The ADP has climbed.
Yeah, we liked him more when he's 110, and lower 120.
Yeah, now he's
97.
97. It's still good value though, isn't it? Still great value. Can't knock that. 97. I mean,
and with the news of Mike Williams, it's looking very iffy to play any.
Yeah, Terrell Williams' value keeps. I mean, as the point is, Terrell Williams' value climbs while his ADP lowers. I mean, that says it all, really. I mean, he will prove to be very good value down there, and what's not to like at that?
And we gave him out as a sleeper last year.
Yeah,
actually.
and we're right. He's a good player for this year. Mike Williams, I'm afraid, looks almost done for this year, even though the injury isn't technically mega serious. He's not had any time with the team during the off-season program. He's going to miss all of camp, and he's going to miss all of pre-season. I mean, the odds of actually making it onto the field this season with that stacked fantasy, it's a lovely team with lots of pieces in it fantasy-wise. I can't see him making it onto the field very much. It may be late season he gets a few games, but not looking good for this year for Mike Williams.
Okay, and Terrell Williams definitely passes the eye test.
He does. And as somebody said from the Chargers fan base, we can't afford any more Williams.
Yeah.
Because there was talk of Andre
Williams. Yeah, somebody put him up as a sleeper, and
That was quite funny.
got
We don't
shirts.
want any more Williams. That
No,
was a
yeah.
great line. We can't keep up. The fan shirt for Williams is the best selling shirt. We would be all of them combined.
We don't advise picking up Andre Williams, just for the record. Next sleeper pick is Hunter Henry. He's going at 109.
I mean, it won't be a sleeper that a lot of people aren't aware of because obviously he kind of broke out last year. But it's the team, isn't it? The team offers great opportunity. The nice thing about this guy is there are really two great tight ends there. There's him, the up and coming,
and our deep
heir
sleeper,
apparent. And obviously Antonio Gates, which we're going to talk about as a deep sleeper.
Yeah,
we might as well combine them.
But yeah, he's going at 157 Gates, so he's in that deep
the
sleeper.
thing is, with both these guys, I mean, as much as I think probably, Hunter Henry probably is the more... It's going to end up with more fantasy points. It's going to be so close that both offer great value, actually. Both are good pack tight ends.
Well, Gates and Rivers have got that chemistry. They played for years. They've been there, done it. They're hard to stop in the red zone.
Gates is one of the greatest tight end pass blockers that you'll ever see.
I mean, he is slower than me.
But you don't need to
He's
be
a
quick.
slightly better catcher.
Yeah,
a better career.
Slightly better than you. But maybe a tad better blocker. But I think you've got size on your side for blocking. Which helps, doesn't it?
Hunter Henry, obviously.
Listen, if you want a player in fantasy and you tell me I want him, I'm not going to argue with you. You've got the size advantage. He takes it.
Hunter Henry is definitely a player that could take a step up, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
And if Mike Williams is out,
there's
obviously more targets.
I'm not a huge fan of tight ends this year because there's so many pack player tight ends that could end up.
And these are both going.
And why do you need to rush to to grab one when you can get one of these guys who could do a very serviceable job for you?
Okay, let's move on to the Raiders. Now we had a
big conflab on this.
Yeah, big conflab about who to put because it's finding value, and the one we actually settled on was Carr. He's ADP 92. Yeah, quarterback 12 off the board.
Seems a bit underrated, doesn't it? I mean, when you think about that, quarterback 12, it's a passing team.
I'm a massive fan of Carr.
And if we're being logical and we have to take both sides of the argument, look, if Lynch pans out to be relevant, really relevant, then that's got to take pressure off Carr and the wide receivers, which means that they're going to have more time to throw because people have got to respect the running game, which when a quarterback has any more time to throw, a good quarterback dissects the defense, and that's exactly what he'll do.
So with Derek Carr, we're talking about quarterbacks. Would you take him above Ben Roethlisberger?
100%.
Well, he's going at 11. So
I would like the way I
take him above Cam Newton.
Can I add this though for Ben? I like Ben. Don't get me wrong.
Home game.
But I would have to package Ben exactly for that reason with another quarterback for the home game. Play him for the home games. Play someone else for the other games.
He's rubbish on the road, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, not rubbish.
Not the same.
He's
Whereas Carr, I would roll the dice on any week.
Would you pick Carr above Cam Newton?
Yes, I would for this
Jameis
season.
Winston?
Because I don't believe Cam Newton's got the weapons.
Jameis Winston?
I like what famous Jameis has done. I like the 4,000 yards. I love all that. I like what he brings to the table. And I think they've got lots of weapons this year, but it's unproven. We don't know how it's going to work. So I still take him above Jameis Winston. It's getting closer.
So the three quarterbacks above him, that's three, you're taking Carr above all of them. So that's why he's our value.
Yeah.
Mariota's the 8th quarterback.
No, I would take Mariota.
I'd take Carr.
I'd take Mariota because I believe Mariota has got everything right. They've worked the draft beautifully to perfection. They have a running game to die for. They have all the weapons coming together at just the right moment. They've added Corey Davis to the mix, which is going to be very useful. They've got veteran mix as well as rookie experience.
I suppose you get more yards on the ground.
You add Decker in. You add my old favourite Rashard Matthews in. You put Corey Davis in. You put the running game with the backup. Delaney Walker is a steady tight end pro. I find it difficult to not have Mariota. Mariota proved for 1 month last season in the fantasy season. He had elite numbers for one month. I don't think that's a fluke. I think that we'll see that improve.
So you put
Could
Carr.
He have 8 or 9 amazing weeks, Mariota? Yes. So I've got to say Mariota.
I'd still take Carr.
And that's perfectly fine because I think both of them add value. Where's Mariota going in relationship to...
Well, he's the 8th quarterback off the board.
So his ADP will be a lot higher, obviously.
Yeah, and he's going at 12, Carr, at the moment. So
I like Carr's ADP, and don't get me wrong.
Carr's going at 92.
No, Carr's ADP is to die for. I mean, I'm a great believer, either strike first or late. Carr would fit in with that strategy beautifully there. There's no issue there. So I'm with you. So don't worry. I mean, we know Mariota to be going in, the 60s?
So he's going 10 picks higher at 82.
Okay, so it's close, but it just depends who falls, and it looks like Carr will fall, which puts him at great value.
I certainly think Carr's a value there.
Very good. I like him a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. Look,
and again, we struggled for for a sleeper here, but we settled on DeAndre Washington because Lynch is a bit of a gambler's pick.
Yeah, if Lynch doesn't work out, then we believe Washington. Then
I mean, him and Richard will probably share, but at 177, it costs you nothing. We think he's probably second in line.
He's second in line. If anything happens to Lynch and he has missed a step, then he's the guy you want to own. And let's be honest, if you've got Lynch, you're gonna have to back him up. It makes sense to have the handcuff because
but we don't know. I mean, is it handcuffed?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we can confidently say it is. But if you're not sure, I mean, both are relevant.
They're both going 177 and below. So.
Yeah, both are relevant. Take your shot at which one you like. If you're not sure, don't take either. Just go with Lynch. But I think it would be nice to back him up with something just in case.
But, I mean, if Lynch goes down, obviously there's no Latavius Murray there. I mean, it's DeAndre Washington and Richard up in a high-powered offence. So.
You got to like that.
Yeah, so plenty of upside there. Obviously a second year in the scheme as well. So
yes,
for both. Our deep sleeper, we've gone for Jared Cook. He's gone a bit under the radar.
Yeah, very much. I mean, that ADP's sitting at what at the moment now?
He's at 196.
I mean, that's a freebie, isn't it? I mean, and tight end 22, was it?
Yeah, I mean, they are a throwing offense, really, aren't they?
Oh, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, tight end 22. I mean, he's got
23.
He's got to be better than that. I mean, with that offense, he's got to be. As much as there are.
I mean, he's been given. So he's going around and Joker and Howard, the two rookies. So that's the sort of value he's in.
He's better than that.
And Evan Ingram. He's sort of sandwiched in the middle of them lot. But he had it when he was at the Rams. He had a sort of reputation for dropping it, but
that might not have just been him, though, mightn't it? Really? Yeah. When you think about the Rams QBs the last few years.
But he actually last year he was pretty solid, wasn't he?
He had Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, and now he's got.
I mean, look at that catch he made against Dallas. That was a game-winning catch, and a great catch.
I do think of this value, he is very cheap, and I mean, let's be honest.
And he's got size and speed.
You can wait on a tight end, and you can pick up Cook that late. I mean, it tells you why you can afford to wait on tight ends. I mean, look, you could roll the dice with Cook, couldn't you? You could take two and play him at home games.
Tight end 22.
There's nothing there. That's not bad at all. I like that.
Even in the deep league,
that's value. I don't mind him there because you're laughing really if you can get packed numbers if somebody else has taken a tight end and he's only 20 points off and you've taken him round 12 or 13 and they've taken somebody at 6. I mean, you're laughing.
Okay, well that was our value pick, our sleeper pick, and our deep sleeper for the AFC West. Have we missed somebody? Let us know in the comments.
We always like hearing those.
Do you agree or disagree with them?
Please like, subscribe, share and comment.
Thanks very much for listening.